Okay, and now I shall start explaining. Good afternoon, everyone there, those who are present. I'm talking about the instrumental analysis. Okay, so there were two batches who have done instrumental analysis yesterday. One batch, I think from 91 to 105, you have done experiment on potentiometry, and I think uh, some 90, 75 to 90. I have done experiment on, no, it's not 75, 85 to 90, I suppose. I don't know who have done the lab. Just check that some few students have done lab on conductometry. Okay, and the analysis. Have a one point to tell you all that the Viva was a questions about both these topics were already discussed in your theory session. Just if you roll down your notes, okay, every one single word about the Viva questions were detailed. So I don't want to spend much time on it, but I will explain. Okay. So what is the experiment or called conductometry, or I should begin the discussion about instrumental analysis. What is instrumental analysis? The analysis which is done for finding the concentration of the test solution using instruments. And this is supposed to be a superior way of analysis because instrumental analysis does not need any indicators for its functioning. Okay, so we need not have to know about the range of operation of the test solution. That means if you are using indicators, okay, in such cases you should be able to identify which indicator has to be used. Like, what are indicators? Substances that change color with change in the reaction conditions. అంటే ఎప్పుడైనా సరే ఇండికేటర్స్ వాడాలనుకో నీకు ముందర ఒక ఐడియా ఉండాలి. అంటే ఇండికేటర్స్ ఎలాంటి సబ్స్టెన్సెస్ దే షో చేంజ్ ఇన్ కలర్ due to change in the reaction conditions. But to identify the indicator, you should be smart. For example, you have taken acid base titration, ante HCl against NaOH. There, if you use diphenylamine indicator, which is an example of a redox indicator, the indicator does not work. Okay, no, then you should take the help of acid base indicators like phenolphthalein, methyl orange, etc. No, if you are using methyl orange for FAS against K2Cr2O7, no, it will not work. Why? Because the indicator is a acid base indicator and you want to use it for a redox titration. Not possible. That's how we should have a clear idea about the indicator to be used during the titration. Okay, and many a times indicators fail if the reaction conditions change is not very clear. For example, HCl is a strong acid, NaOH is also a strong acid. But for a titration of acetic acid with ammonium hydroxide, which are both weak acids and weak bases, in such cases, the usage of indicator is not possible. Okay, so the endpoint color is not very discrete. In such conditions, I am forced to use an instrument to find the endpoint of the titration or the concentration of the test solution. So the conditions in which, or the analysis in which I am taking the help of an instrument to find endpoint of the titration and concentration of the test solutions are called as instrumental analysis. Instrumental analysis అంటే ఏంటి? ఏ అనాలిసిస్ లో అయితే నేను ఇన్స్ట్రుమెంట్స్ ని యూజ్ చేసి టెస్ట్ సొల్యూషన్ తో టైట్రేట్ చేసినప్పుడు ఎండ్ పాయింట్స్ కనుక్కోవడం ఒకటి, కాన్సన్ట్రేషన్ ఆఫ్ ద టెస్ట్ సొల్యూషన్ కనుక్కునేది ఏదైతే ఉందో అనాలిసిస్, అది ఇన్స్ట్రుమెంటల్ అనాలిసిస్. Depending upon the type of the instrument used, it could be conductometry, potentiometry, pHmetry, colorimetry. I have avoided giving those two because today it is not a subject of discussion. Okay, so two batches have worked on two different instruments, conductometer and potentiometer. Okay, so students who have worked on conductometry or conductometer have taken change in the conductance values of the reaction medium during the titration. The test solution issued was HCl and you reacted with NaOH. It is an example of an acid-base titration. Okay, HCl was the test solution and NaOH is the link solution. So I have already told you with you. What are link solutions? Solutions that are used to find the concentration of the test solutions are called as link solution. And because HCl was a test solution and you reacted that with NaOH, it is the link solution. And the step in which concentration of the link solution is identified is called as standardization step. So what is standardization? Finding the concentration of unknown solution using standard solution is called as standardization. That is done in step 2. Step 1 is preparation of standard solutions. So what it means by preparation of a standard solution or what it means by a standard solution? Solution of known concentration is called as standard solution, and that step is taking the salt, weighing it and dissolving it in required amount of water and preparing a solution. Okay, solutions whose concentration you can calculate. Okay, that's the whole concept. Okay, so conductometer people have used conductometry students experiment was having conductometer as the instrument. They found the change in the conductance values during the titration, and the units of conductance are ohm inverse mho or Siemens, and the range on the instrument is millisiemens. Okay, and I'll move to the next experiment, potentiometry. The students who have done the experiment on this instrument have used potentiometer. They have found the change in the EMF values during the titration. Okay, the digital display on the instrument is E cell, which is nothing but E cathode minus E anode. The units of EMF are volts. On the instrument, it reads millivolts values. Okay. No matter which experiment you have done, in both the cases, in both the experiment, it was an acid-base titration. Okay. Both for conductometry people and potentiometry people, test solution is X. Okay, test solution is HCl. Okay, so acid-base titration, you have reacted HCl against NaOH. Okay, and because NaOH is used to find the concentration of HCl test solution, this is link solution. Okay, this is link solution. So which standard solution you prepared? Oxalic acid standard solution was prepared. Okay, oxalic acid standard solution was prepared. Okay, fine. So oxalic acid, it's a dibasic acid and dihydrated. Molecular weight is 126. Basicity is 2. Molecular weight is 126. Basicity is 2. Equivalent weight is gram equivalent weight is 126 divided by 2, that is equal to 63. This is common step for all of you. Okay, I think they have explained this in detail. Okay, in yesterday's experiment, both for conductometry and potentiometry, both the patches have HCl test solution which reacts with solution. Okay. The step in which I am finding the concentration of NaOH is called as standardization step. That's a step 2 of your experiment. And for that, you prepare oxalic acid standard solution. Okay. Is present one is prepared. Oxalic acid standard solution is prepared. Okay, that's a formula of oxalic acid. Its molecular weight is 126, basicity is 2, gravity equivalent weight is 126 divided by 2, that is 63. Now kids, the experimentation is very easy. Okay, now I'll move kids who have done, who are there in the class for learning about the conductometry experiment or potentiometry experiment. Please, you can write down this also. It will be very easy for you when you are going to the experimental session. Okay. So first I'll start with potentiometry. Okay. So in yesterday's experiment, you prepared standard oxalic acid solution and you have standardized NaOH solution. Okay. And I am explaining part C. Okay. So in part C, it is estimation of HCl concentration. Estimation of HCl concentration. That is the target of the experiment. Okay. Now, cell construction is very similar to an electrochemical cell. Okay. Okay. Cell construction, galvanic or voltaic cell. Okay. Galvanic or voltaic or in general electrochemical cell. Okay. This you write because it's important. I'll put a star mark for this. Okay. Cell construction, anode, oxidation electrode, anode, and write is equal to like that. That is better. Anode, it is on left hand side. Left hand side is equal to oxidation electrode is equal to saturated calomel electrode. In your experiment yesterday, saturated calomel electrode is equal to saturated calomel electrode yesterday in your experiment. Okay, this is standard or reference electrode. This is standard or reference electrode. Standard or reference electrode. Okay, this is the keyword. Anode, left hand side, it's oxidation electrode. In yesterday's experiment, it is saturated calomel electrode, and it is standard or reference electrode. Okay, is it clear? It's okay. Next block, cathode. It is present on right hand side. So you say right hand electrode, right hand side. It is present. Okay. AC, anode, cathode. That's how you should remember. Right hand side, it is a reduction electrode or reduction half cell. Reduction electrode. And yesterday's experiment it is quinhydrone electrode. In yesterday's experiment it is quinhydrone electrode. Quinhydrone electrode, and you place the test solution at that electrode. So it is working or indicator electrode. Working or indicator electrode. That's the idea. Okay. Cathode will be on right hand side. It will be a reduction electrode. In yesterday's experiment, it is quinhydrone electrode, and it is called working or indicator electrode. Okay. Here at this point of time, I should tell you that I already told what it means by saturated or standard or reference electrode. The electrodes at which EMF does not change is called as reference electrode, whereas the electrodes at which EMF keeps on changing, where a test solution is taken and titration is being done, is called as working or indicator electrode. గుర్తుందా నిన్న ఎక్స్పెరిమెంట్ ఏం చేశారు? ఎక్స్పెరిమెంటల్ సెటప్ ఎలా ఉండింది? ఇలా రెండు బీకర్స్ ఉన్నాయి. ఓకే, ఆ రెండు బీకర్స్ ని మీకు ఎలక్ట్రోడ్స్ ఉన్నాయి కనెక్ట్ చేసి. ఓకే, yesterday's experiment there were electrodes, okay, which had wires. Okay, and there was a stand which are having those two electrodes. Okay, the left hand electrode is calomel electrode, right hand electrode HCl was taken, and to that a pinch of quinhydrone is added. On this it is written as platinum. The platinum is only for electrical conductance, but the electrode, how did you build? By adding pinch of quinhydrone to this. Then you place the salt bridge in such a way that each arm of the salt bridge is each of the beakers. This is calomel electrode, that is quinhydrone electrode. Here you took the HCl test solution and you have done the titration. Okay, because you are doing the titration here, that the EMF keeps on changing. Okay, the electrode at which EMF keeps changing is called as working or indicator electrode. The electrode at which the EMF remains constant is called as standard or reference electrode. And this saturated calomel electrode has a constant EMF of 0.422 volts. That's a point which is very important. And a very famous Viva Voce question will be asked. Chappan kada? So, I want to write it. Okay, how will I write? Reference electrode is equal to EMF remains constant. Okay, working or indicator electrode, working or indicator electrode is equal to EMF keeps changing, EMF keeps changing. Why? Test solution is taken and titration is done. That's the reason why the EMF keeps changing. అర్థమైంది కదా? ఈజీ. సరే, ఏం చెప్పాను? రిఫరెన్స్ ఎలక్ట్రోడ్, వర్కింగ్ ఎలక్ట్రోడ్స్ అంటే ఏంటి? ఎక్కడైతే ఈఎంఎఫ్ కాన్స్టెంట్ ఉంటుందో అది రిఫరెన్స్ ఎలక్ట్రోడ్, ఎక్కడ ఈఎంఎఫ్ మారుతూ ఉంటుందో అది వర్కింగ్ ఎలక్ట్రోడ్. ఎందుకు ఈఎంఎఫ్ మారాలి? అందుకంటే నాకు టెస్ట్ సొల్యూషన్ తీసుకుని టైట్రేట్ చేస్తున్నావు కాబట్టి. అర్థమైందా? ఈజీ, ఈజీ. Fine. Ippudu I'll move to the next point. Next point ఏంటంటే నిన్న after doing the titration, you got values which were decreasing. Okay. On the instrument, what you have seen? You have seen the E cell values. What is E cell? E cathode minus E anode. And the potential difference ela vastundi? Due to the difference in the potential between anode and cathode, that EMF develops. Okay. And the digital display on the instrument is E cell value. Okay. Which is nothing but E cathode minus E anode. So in yesterday's experiment, what did you do? You have done 2 trials. Okay. So for identifying, you will do 2 trials. Okay. Trial 1 is called as integral titration or rough titration. Trial 2 is called as fine or differential titration. Okay. Trial 1. Okay. It is called as rough or integral titration. Rough or integral titration. Okay. Then you have trial 2, which is called fine or differential titration. Now kids, those who are present here, no matter whether you have done conductometry or potentiometry, I have a small request. I'll wait for 1 minute time or 2 minutes time. Open your records. వెళ్ళండమ్మా, నేను చెప్పిన పని చేయండి. Keep the record with you, all the 15 or 16 students who are present in the class. నువ్వు అసలు ఈడిటిఏ ఎక్స్పెరిమెంట్ చేసి ఉండొచ్చు, లేదా డైక్రోమెట్రీ చేసి ఉండొచ్చు, ఏది చేసినా పట్టించుకోవద్దు. If you are there in this class, I have a small request to make. Get the record book into your hand. Turn to the graph pages. Turn to the graph pages. Okay. I'll wait for 2 or 3 minutes time. Please do it. Do not ignore whatever I am saying. Sorry. Okay, kids. I presume that you sincerely have accepted my suggestion. Okay. Potentiometry people, please, you focus, because the rest will somehow do it again. But for you, okay, you need to tear the graph pages from the back side of the record. ఇది ఎవరు చెప్పడం, బుక్ లో కూడా ఉండదు. కానీ ఏం రాయాలి? ఫస్ట్ గ్రాఫ్ పేజ్ తీసుకో, 2 గ్రాఫ్ పేజెస్ మీద, those who are present, right? Estimation of HCl by potentiometry. Estimation of HCl by potentiometry. Heading random. Usha, Sanjana, Siddharth, okay, all those who are present. Manideep, Naveen, Shrishma and all. Please write 91 to 105 roll numbers. Maybe the experiment అయిపోయింది కాబట్టి just follow my instruction. It will be excellent for you. You'll enjoy your record writing. Same effort you have to do anyways, but this is going to be really good. It's a proven one, I am telling you all. 2 pages మీద heading ఏం రాయండి, estimation of HCl by potentiometry. రాసారా? On both the graph pages. Okay. Now turn to first graph page. On that, the graph page will be there. Okay. The graph page is there like this. This is the graph page. On the graph page, to the left hand side, final topmost corner of the graph page, right? Trial 1, rough or integral titration. This is what you will write. Rough or integral titration. Okay. ఇప్పుడు రైట్ ఇలా లెఫ్ట్ హ్యాండ్ సైడ్ అంటే మీరు ఇలా గ్రాఫ్ పేజ్ పెట్టుకుంటే ఇది రైట్ హ్యాండ్ సైడ్ వస్తుంది, లెఫ్ట్ హ్యాండ్ సైడ్ వస్తుంది. సో నువ్వు రాసేటప్పుడు ఎలా రాస్తావు, లెఫ్ట్ హ్యాండ్ సైడ్ ట్రయల్ 1 రఫ్ ఆర్ ఇంటిగ్రల్ టైట్రేషన్ అని రాసి ఇట్ సైడ్ కార్నర్ లో స్కేల్. ఆన్ ఎక్స్ యాక్సిస్ 1 unit is equal to 1 ml. On y-axis, 1 unit is equal to 150 millivolt. 50 millivolt. Okay, this is what you will write. millivolt. Okay, this is the best way to present. Now you have one x-axis on which you write volume of NaOH. This should be written to the middle of the graph page. You have this graph page. Draw a line to the middle. On that middle page, you write volume of NaOH. Here, E cell value in brackets MV. Here in brackets ml. Units compulsory right. Volume of NaOH. E cell in brackets MV. And this is the page. I think better I push a little high. Now what you will have? You'll have points because they are decreasing like this. Okay. Now what you have to do? You should draw a straight line with the help of a scale connecting those 2 points which have crossed the line. That means you should connect those 2 points where the units have come from plus to minus. Okay, initially you should draw a straight line with the help of a scale. Sare, ikkada plus nunchi minus ku vellina 2 points. Our 2 points is scale. The rest point should be aligned with the free hand. Like this. Okay, free hand like that. Easy. మళ్ళా చెప్పనా ఏం చేశారు, అలా పాయింట్స్ అన్ని పెట్టేసి ఏం చేయాలి, ఫస్ట్ గ్రాఫ్ పేపర్ మీద కంపల్సరీ రాయండి. మీరు రాయండి, ఏ బ్యాచ్ రాసినా రాకపోయినా మీరు రాయాల్సిందే. ట్రయల్ 1 రఫ్ ఆర్ ఇంటిగ్రల్ టైట్రేషన్ స్కేల్ రాసిన తర్వాత ఇదే గ్రాఫ్ పేజ్. సరే, ఏం చేస్తావు, ఎగ్జాక్ట్లీ మధ్యకి ఒక స్ట్రైట్ లైన్ వేసి ఏం చేస్తావు, ఆ మధ్య స్ట్రైట్ లైన్ మీద వాల్యూమ్ ఆఫ్ NaOH అని రాయండి. లేదనుకో ఏమనిపిస్తుంది, ఇక్కడెక్కడో రాశారంటే కింద ఈ వాల్యూస్ ఏమిటా అని చెప్పి ఏదో పైనుంచి కింద చూసినట్టు అవుతుంది, ఫూలిష్నెస్. సరే, ఇక్కడ తర్వాత ఇక్కడ y యాక్సిస్ మీద ఈ సెల్ ప్రతిసారి ఈ ఏం చేస్తున్నావో యూనిట్స్ సహా రాయాలి. దట్ ఈస్ అ వెరీ గుడ్ హ్యాబిట్ యూ షుడ్ అడాప్ట్. సరే, తర్వాత వాల్యూస్ డిక్రీస్ అవుతూనే ఉన్నాయి కాబట్టి ఇలా ఏదో వస్తుంది. అలానే ఫస్ట్ డాట్స్ పెట్టేసుకోండి. పెట్టేసుకున్న తర్వాత ఏం చేయాలి, ఎక్కడైతే ప్లస్ నుంచి మైనస్ వెళ్ళిందో అది స్కేల్ తో అలైన్ చేసి ప్రతిమ అంతా ఫ్రీ హ్యాండ్ అలైన్ చేయాలి. ఓకే, ఇది 0 తీసుకుంటే 50 కదా, ఇక్కడ ఎలా వస్తుంది స్కేల్ 50, 100, 150 అలా వస్తుంది. సరేనా, అలా వేసుకుంటూ వెళ్ళి ఇక్కడ 300 నుంచో 350 నుంచో మొదలు పెట్టి వేయండి. ఇది అదే -50, -100 అలా వస్తుంది. ఓకే, you understand? That's how you should plot the graph. Easy. కొంచెం మెల్లిగా చేయండి, చాలా చాలా ఈజీ. ఓకే, now turn your page to the next graph page, that is trial 2. Trial 2 మళ్ళీ అదే గ్రాఫ్ పేజ్ మీద ఏం రాయాలి, ఫైండ్ ఆర్ డిఫరెన్షియల్ టైట్రేషన్. ఇది వైవా వస్తే క్వశ్చన్స్ వీటి మీద ఇలా అడుగుతారు, అందుకనే నేను మీతో రాయిచ్చేస్తున్నా ఇక్కడే. ఫైండ్ ఆర్ డిఫరెన్షియల్ టైట్రేషన్. ఫైండ్ ఆర్ డిఫరెన్షియల్ టైట్రేషన్. ఇక్కడ స్కేల్, స్కేల్ ఏంటి, ఆన్ x యాక్సిస్ 1 unit is equal to 0.2 ml. Y axis 1 unit is equal to dash, units ఏంటంటే mv by ml. సరే, now in your manual you have done delta E by delta V calculation. If your delta V by delta V is more than 1000, this will be 100. If your delta E by delta V is less than 1000, make it some 50. Choice is yours. Okay. Now how to plot the graph? You have volume of NaOH here and delta E by delta V values here. mv by ml, here it is ml. Okay, at the origin put 0. Okay, start from 8 or 9 where you have started differential titration. 8, 8.2, 8.4 like that. No, if you have started from 9, 9.2, 9.4 like that, you can put a P. Incante, ila vesi, no readings in between. Okay, what will happen? At suppose 8.4, okay, you have got the highest value. Okay, the rest points will be somewhere at the bottom. The point at 8.2 and 8.6 should be identified. The rest points will be somewhere very, very low. Okay, at 8.4 you got highest value. First draw a straight line from that highest point to 8.4 to x-axis. Okay, with the scale, with the same scale, draw a straight line from the point of 8.4 to 8.6 and on this side to 8.2. Ante pakka points ni straight line tho scale to align chesi. The rest points should be aligned with the help of with free hand alignment. Okay, some might get a point here somewhere for 8.2, then avoid, don't align this point. Okay, leave this point and align the next point. Okay, This is how you will get the graph for trial 2. And at 8.4, you put a line to say V2 prime is equal to 8.4 ml. V2 prime is equal to 8.4 ml. You say it as end point or equivalence point. This is how you should write in your record. I'll explain once again. Trial 2 graph chala crucial. So trial 2 graph page మీద heading ఏం రాశారు? Estimation of HCl by potentiometry అని రాసాక each side corner లో ఏం రాయాలి? Trial 2 fine or differential titration. Scale ఎప్పుడు ఎలా ఉండాలి? X axis 0.2 ml, y axis is dash mv by ml. ఎందుకు? Delta E by delta V కాబట్టి. Okay. I understand or presume that you have done already the calculations for delta E by delta V. Okay. If the highest value is less than 1000, on X and Y axis take 50 mv by ml. No, if the highest value is more than 1000, take 100. Okay, that's your choice. Now, what has to be done while plotting the graph? Now, that's the graph. On x-axis, I've written volume of NaOH. On y-axis, I've taken delta E by delta V. Okay. The highest point is plotted. Okay. The rest points will be in the bottom itself. From the highest point to the x-axis, you'll draw a straight line with the help of a scale. And from the highest point to the alternate points, ante it side, at side, you'll align the points with the help of a scale. The rest points should be aligned with the help of with free hand. Sare? So scale తీసుకుని ఏం చేస్తారు? టాప్ పాయింట్ నుంచి x యాక్సిస్ కి ఒక లైన్ వేసి ఈ నెక్స్ట్ పాయింట్ ఇక్కడ నేను 8.4 తీసుకున్నాను కాబట్టి 8.2 8.6 అదే 9.8 ఉంది అనుకో ఇక్కడ 10 అక్కడ 9.6 అలా రెండు పక్క పాయింట్స్ ఎక్కడ వచ్చాయో అది అలైన్ చేసి తద్మావన్నీ ఫ్రీ హ్యాండ్ తో అలైన్ చేయండి. కొందరికి ఏమొస్తుంది? సపోజ్ 8.4 హైయెస్ట్ వచ్చిన చోట 8.2 పాయింట్ అక్కడెక్కడో పక్కన వస్తుంది. అప్పుడు ఇక్కడ నుంచి ఇక్కడ గీత వేయద్దు, అది వదిలేసి 8.2 వదిలేసి 8.8 పాయింట్ కి లైన్ కి స్కేల్ తో, అది స్మాల్ ఇన్స్ట్రక్షన్. సరే, సో దట్స్ హౌ యూ విల్ ప్లాట్ ద గ్రాఫ్. ఎక్కడైతే అక్కడ టచ్ అయిందో 8.4 9.8 ఏదో అక్కడి నుంచి ఒక లైన్ గీసి ఏం రాయాలి? V2 prime is equal to so and so value, and you'll say it as equivalence point. Easy. Okay. Whatever you get from the graph to equivalence point is used to find the normality of the solution. Okay. N2 V2 prime is equal to N3 V3. V3 is 20 ml. V2 prime is from the graph. N2 is from step 2. After getting the normality of HCl, you will calculate the equivalent weight by multiplying it with 36.5. Answer will be grams per liter, or 36.5 by 10 gives the answer per 100 ml. Easy. Okay. That's it. Does anyone has a doubt? No doubts? Now I shall explain the graph for conductometry. I've already explained, but just listen in 3 minutes or 5 minutes time. Okay, these are the two graphs for potentiometry. Okay, I'll go ahead. Now, how to write record, kids? Just listen to me, please. How to write the record? Write the record in 4 pages. Theory in 4 pages. First page, part A, part B. Next page, only trial 1. Next page only trial 2 and calculations. Is the point clear? Sir, malla cheppana. Experiment approximate ga 4 pages lo ayyettattu చూడండి. మూడైనా పర్వాలేదు. సరే, ఫస్ట్ పేజ్ థియరీ రాసిన తర్వాత ఏం చేయాలి? పార్ట్ ఏ పార్ట్ బి ఫస్ట్ పేజ్ లోనే ఇన్కార్పొరేట్ చేసేయండి. ఓకే, సెకండ్ పేజ్ లో ఓన్లీ ట్రయల్ 1 టేబులే వేయండి. ఓకే, ట్రయల్ 2 టేబుల్ వేయకండి. గ్రాఫ్ షీట్ అతికించదు ఇఫ్ యూ హ్యావ్ ఎ డౌట్. నెక్స్ట్ పేజ్ లో ట్రయల్ 2 టేబుల్ వేయాలి. ట్రయల్ 1 ట్రయల్ 2 టేబుల్స్ ఒకటేసారి సేమ్ పేజ్ మీద వేస్తే హైలీ క్లటర్డ్ అండ్ డర్టీ ప్రెజెంటేషన్ అవుతుంది. ఓకే, దట్స్ వాట్ ఐ వాంట్ టు టెల్. Is the point clear? Please hold on for 10 minutes. Okay, is the point clear? Okay, please do the activity required. This is important, interesting, and this is the best presentation I've ever seen for this particular potentiometer. Okay, so I'll conclude 5 minutes time for their times out. Pakka class lo కూర్చోండి. Okay, and I'll back పెట్టండి. Then I'm talking about the contactometry. Okay, and there we have done 2 experiments. Estimation of HCl by NaOH. Okay, so as soon as you open the graph page, I've already told the scale. Here on x-axis it is volume of NaOH. Okay, and here it is conductance value. Okay, never conclude your writing without putting the units ml and ms on x and y axis. Compulsory. I have told the scale. Scale is on x-axis 1 unit is equal to 1 ml. On y-axis 1 unit is equal to 1 millisiemen. Okay, when you plot the graph, you will get the points little random. Okay, like that. What you need to do, I've already explained. You should always draw straight lines only with scale. No freehand alignment. Please note that. Okay, and when you're drawing the straight line, see to it that maximum number of points fall on the straight line. But it is not possible to align all the points. Okay, in such case, what you are going to do? Okay, you should see to it that you are aligning more points at the end point rather than the first point. Okay, and when you draw 2 straight lines like this, there is a point at which these 2 straight lines meet. This point where the 2 straight line meets is the equivalence point. Is the equivalence point. Okay, and from that equivalence point, draw a straight line onto the x-axis, and that gives the V2 prime value. Okay, and there need not have to be any reading at this point. This is a star mark idea. I have to put it into your head. No value అవసరం లేదు, ఉండొచ్చు ఉండకపోవచ్చు, but need not have to have any value here. Okay, that's how you should plot the graph for HCl against acetic acid. Any doubts, please raise your hand. Now the next experiment is acetic acid against NaOH. Okay, there again I have told you how you will plot the graph. Volume of NaOH on x-axis and conductance on y-axis. And the units are millisiemens. Here, the values first initially increased slowly, then gradually. The points will be like that. Again, what you will understand is points will be like this. Okay? Now, how to align? How to align? Draw a straight line here. Okay? Draw a straight line like this. You can align these two, but more towards the end point. Okay? The two lines would meet, and at that point you may have reading. Most of the times there is no reading. Again, the point at which the two lines meet is nothing but the equivalence point and here this volume is V2 prime. Okay, you'll calculate the normality of the acetic acid or HCl using the formula N2 V2 prime is equal to N3 V3. For you, V3 is 40 ml. Please realize that. Don't make any mistake. V3 is 40 ml. N3 is what you are going to find. V2 prime is from the graph and N2 is from step 2. You understand? That's very important. After getting the N3 value, multiply it with 36.5 to get the answer in grams per 100 ml, or you can divide it by 10 to get the answer per 100 ml. Okay, 1 is per liter without dividing with 10. On dividing it with 10, you'll get the answer in grams per 100 ml. Okay, and that concludes the explanation. Okay, again, what you are going to do? First page, part A, part B, next page, table, and besides that, the graph has to be stuck. If not, don't paste the graph, hold on. After coming here, we will help you how to put the graph page in the record. Okay, any doubts? Raise your hands. Any doubt? Okay, shall I conclude the session? Potentiometry and conductometry. Now, shall I conclude the session? Is the concept understood? The Viva questions are all explained in detail to you all during your theory session. Excellent notes you have on hand. Those who have written the notes in the beginning religiously will obviously end up with good Viva Voce session. Okay, I told you conductometer works on the principle of Wheatstone's bridge. Only AC power supply is passed because to avoid electrolysis. All are interesting points. All the Viva Voce points have been discussed in detail. You can just go ahead reading them. Okay. On Friday, I'll not be available for your Viva session. Okay. Please do manage properly. Okay. Any queries I'll solve, or you can take anybody's help. All the faculty will be really happy to help you if you ask the doubts. Potentiometry people, Sham sir has told that tomorrow if you are free, sir is available in the lab in the first or third hour, or you can just go to him into his cabin. As soon as you enter the first year block, right hand side you have cabins. In those cabins, Sham sir will be there. If you have anything to ask him or get your records corrected, sir will be there. Okay. Tomorrow also you can get your I should say graphs corrected. Okay. That's what I wanted to tell. Anything else, please tell me. Record.
Ma'am, actually, we have to do PPT, ma'am.
Yes.
So when we can do that?
Today is the last date. I want to submit the marks at the earliest because they are putting a lot of pressure on me. because we are the slowest batch. That's what I heard. So I made you slow, I suppose. I don't know. It's my request to finish off at the earliest. Okay.
Okay.
We'll do it today evening or just coordinate with Usha. If Neeraj is fine, you can coordinate with him as well. That's up to you. Please coordinate and get back to me. Your CRs are very, very helpful people. You should be very happy. They are helping you to do your presentations. Okay,
We'll do the
coordinate with them.
presentation today, ma'am. Only.
Huh?
Today only we'll do the presentation, ma'am.
Today
Yes, ma'am.
after 6 because I have lab sessions and I'll be going home, so it will take time. 6:30 is the right time for me. Is that the convenient time?
Okay, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Usha, please do coordinate.
Okay,
Okay.
ma'am.
Shall I conclude the meeting? Okay. Then fine. Good day.
Okay, thank you very much, ma'am.